Welcome back to the Morning Blend. It's safe to say that my co-host here, Tiff, brings a lot of laughter to our office every day.
So do you. That's true. We have a lot of fun here, but not all jobs can be as fun as working on the Morning Blend. It's true. We have a really good time, and Julie Ostrow is here with us now. She's a humor, laughter, and improv coach and former American Laughing Champion with the hardware to back it up. Check out that right there. She helps bring more funny into the workplace. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
You didn't get to meet Molly last time you were here.
No.
So this is, I know, a big moment for the two of you.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Like, what, do you think your laugh is better than mine?
No, not necessarily. I just have, like you said, the hardware to back it up.
Right. Yeah.
You can borrow it.
Thank you. Yes, I'd love to.
Yeah, we've got a little, you know, I don't know that you got to meet her last time. We did show you a little video maybe, but I think if not, we need to refresh your mind about Molly's laugh. Take a look. Oh, here's your laugh.
Look at my smart. I swear I'm smart. Baby boomers. They buy things.
I'm sorry.
And there's some snorting involved, right? That's great.
So I'm trying to stay there. Out of the trough. He's no longer. Keep him quiet.
That sounded like a water frog, right? So how could you not have fun working here?
Right, exactly. It doesn't happen all the time, though, thankfully, because it's alarming to people. Because of the sound that comes out of my face.
They need to embrace it.
They do.
Yeah, you think?
We've learned
so.
to.
Do you think you've always been somebody who finds the funny in life, or was it something you had to work on?
I always did, and growing up, even my sister said, how do you see it that way? How do you see it that way? And then even with my laugh, through the years, I was either complimented or criticized. And then after winning the Laughing Championship, it was just affirmation that what I'm doing is the right thing. I do see things from the quirky side, and I do have a loud laugh.
Yeah.
And you embrace it. You were trained at Second City in
Yes.
Chicago, which I'm
That's right.
very jealous about because I love that. I've taken a couple classes there and I think it's phenomenal. How do you think improv and teaching improv as well, which you do, has really kind of helped you see the other side of situations?
Oh, wonderful, because the three main rules of improvisation, yes and, being in the moment, and give and take, are key to building communication within a workplace.
You mentioned, I want to break that down a little
Sure.
bit, because you said yes and I just heard this from another friend of mine who does improv, does it have to do with your initial reaction to things? Because a lot of people are no people, or like we have a
Yes.
producer who we always joke, because if you say, oh, do you like this idea? She'll go, meh, you know, whatever.
She's tried to take meh out of her vocabulary.
Yes, she has. So she's not here today, so I can throw her under the bus.
She
No,
might
I'm
be
kidding.
able to watch it,
Right,
though,
yeah.
you know.
She probably is.
She won't be back till tomorrow, though. But is that part of it, is your initial reaction to things, rather than saying no or looking at holes you can poke in it, say, hey, yeah, maybe I can find a way, yes, and to make it work?
Absolutely. If you're, for example, if you're in an improv scene with somebody and say, I hand you a can of Coke, this is a can of Coke, and if you're to say no,
No.
it's
Or call
not,
it a cat.
then what you've done is it just disintegrated the idea that I brought to the table.
I see.
In a corporate setting, in a communication setting, brainstorming, if I were to say, hey, let's make sure that we reach this audience and that audience, and either one of you say, no, we can't do that. No, we didn't try that. But instead, if you were to say, yes, and let's build on these audiences, or let's try it this way. Now, I'm not saying it's all kumbaya and everybody's answers and ideas are supposed to be accepted, but the whole idea of building on to what other people have to say instead of tearing them down. Because really, if you have an idea of, oh, you know what, we're going to take pine cones to work today, and it seems like a stupid idea, but it'll foster an idea in somebody else.
Yes.
So it's that connection as opposed to the disintegration.
And more minds are better than one. Building on them, changing them, things can evolve. It doesn't have to be, like you said, that original idea. What's the second rule and how can we use that in our lives?
So give and take, and that is if you give an idea and then I accept that idea and then building onto it. So I kind of touched on that, and yes and most importantly, being in the present moment. So how many times have you been in a conversation with someone, or maybe you drove to work and you thought, how did I get here?
Yeah. You don't even remember the scenery.
Yeah, and then you think, wait a minute, a good thing I didn't get into an accident, but are we present? And so if you and I are having a conversation and I'm not thinking about what bills I have to pay, and I'm not having I'm having a conversation with you, I'm not worrying about what I should be doing tomorrow, if I'm present with you, I can take in the magic that's created. I know that sounds hokey, But
I don't think so.
No, I get
No,
that. I practice that the most with my kids because there's so many times, especially because they talk a lot, and I have 3 of them. So it's like, but I try to be very present when they're talking to me because it's my opportunity to connect with them, like you said. But it's hard because I'm thinking, oh, I got to empty the dishwasher, and I got to, like you said, pay this bill, or I got to make this phone call, or whatever.
Well, and I think even just in general conversation, a lot of people are afraid. We hear a lot of people who are afraid to go out into networking situations or situations like that. And if you're just present and you learn to listen, instead of thinking about what you want to say next, you're just a little bit more comfortable in that situation. How do you think, though, those rules and improv itself can help with self-confidence?
Oh, my goodness. With improv, you commit. You have an idea and you commit 150%. And if you could see someone maybe giving a presentation and they're not quite confident because they're worried about how they're going to fail, or maybe some ideas that might not really gel, I would say commit wholeheartedly. And how it helps with self-confidence is with improv, you're allowed to play. You're allowed to play and be silly.
Nothing's dumb.
Nothing is dumb. And that whole idea of there's no dumb question, there's no stupid question, and there's no stupid idea in improv.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think it's great to practice that in the workplace as well as other places, in parenting and social situations and friendships. I love it.
Exactly.
And people can find out more if they go to gofindthefunny.com, where people can find out more about you and all of the things that you do, as well as your presentations at conferences and events and performances with comedy and emceeing different events too. It's great to have you here. I'm glad I finally got to meet you. I heard about you.
Maybe we should do
Next
one
time
more
we'll
laugh.
have, do one more laugh.
Okay, ready?
Bring
Let's
them
do
into
like
the
a laugh
laughter.
up. Ready?
Okay.
On the count of 3, you and I are going to just laugh
Oh my
off.
gosh,
You're
okay.
funnier than I am, and I'm funnier than you. Ready?
Okay,
1,
right.
2, 3.
As they laugh, I'm going to tell you what's coming up next. Still ahead on the Morning Grind. Keep going. Keep going. How pregnant new moms are finding support with their postpartum depression. We're going to help them laugh through this morning. And up next, the